How to stop overthinking instantly. It's possible. It definitely was a process. And how I did it was just realizing the simple fact that when your brain says to do something, just do the opposite. In other words, the typical kind of thing to do as a human, there's nothing wrong with it, is just laze around. It's just chill, do a whole lot of nothing, and just have a good time. And your brain wants to do that the majority of the time. Why? Because it's the easy thing to do. It's how you survive. And the brain is always in risk mitigation mode from a biological perspective. It's not in the, hey, let's be the richest, the strongest, the most powerful in the world. That comes from competition or there being a reason to even do something like that, right? It's not that it's natural that you're just born. Yeah, you can be born a warrior, but it doesn't mean you need to be the number one of the number one. In other words, survival is the longevity of your life. It doesn't mean that you'll be having maybe the peak dopamine release each and every second, right, which kind of defeats the purpose. But the flip side is also, hey, it's not going to let you be in shambles, right? It's going to aim for comfort. So, with that established, overthinking is what? It's basically just getting in your head, right? Stress, anxiety, kind of this tribulation of like, this back and forth, and if you know, right? And it's kind of like, why is this happening? The reason is the brain, like we said, is what? It's there to protect us. Nothing wrong with it, right? It's great. But what that also means is that it's there to keep us alert as well, to keep us safe. So if it needs to make up scenarios, situations, things that may not even happen, but for some reason you geek yourself out into thinking, wow, this may happen. And if it happens, what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen? So you start overthinking, right? Repetitively, constantly, non-stop, etc. So, who is telling you to do this? The brain. And so, now I can instantly realize that if I'm ever feeling a certain type of way, right? Chances are it's my brain telling me to feel this way. And when you ask yourself the frameworks of the 5 whys, I say, right, it's like, okay, I feel discomfort. Okay, like right now, why? Right? Okay, I feel discomfort because, the terrain I'm walking on right now, like, so the flip side of this, right, if I flip this camera over here, is basically like, it's not really like grass, it's kind of harsh, and I'm kind of afraid, like, okay, there may be some type of insects or, maybe there's some weird plants here, who knows, right? Like, and I'm in flip-flops, so that does not help the situation, right? So all of that to say, flipping us back, that's the second why. Am I gonna die in this environment, right? Like, is there some predator out here? I mean, like, apart from maybe a snake at the below, right? Like, around me is a whole bunch of no one. Like, my life is probably more safe in this section than in other sections. Like, just sounds like common sense. But the point is, now that I know that I'm safe, like, what else, right? Then you ask yourself, why? So there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you know what this is, then you basically know that at the bottom, right, it's basically those primal needs. So what do you need, right, to feel that hierarchy of yourself, like autonomous or strong on your own? It's like identity kind of related, your self-esteem. And so if you have food, shelter, water, right, a place to sleep that's safe, those are like the primal needs. What's next? What's next is maybe then you have, okay, society saying, hey, you're a good guy. You're a great person. You're a great individual. So your self-esteem, your ego goes up, right? And then now everyone is saying, well, you're the best. And they're not gaslighting, but I'm having fun with this video because the truth is, overthinking and all of these things is what? It's all in the head. It's all nonsense. It's all made up. But it's really hard to detach the physical, just who we are, our experience, our history, and then, what goes up here. Because if they feel like the same thing, they are the same thing. But when you're living in your body, the inverse as well, right? The inverse is, it's like, oh, I can't control my cravings. That's really your brain. Oh, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I need to go to sleep. Like, sure, but it's your brain, right? So like your brain is like the driver kind of in this situation, right? And what that means is it really is in control. So how do you control it? Well, how you control it is, it's not like, there's a theory, right? The brain is like a parasite, we are the vessel, and it controls us. Like, sure, it's not right or wrong, it's a theory. I mean, I kind of get it, right? It's basically saying, how do we optimize the body that we have here, right? If there was a commander called, let's say, the brain, and maybe the brain wants to live the longest. Maybe that's its metric of, hey, success, right? So, great for the brain. As, the flip side argument, if you want results in the short term and fast, then maybe the brain is not going to be the one that's going to get you there. So doing literally the opposite, disciplining yourself, not in a punishment sense, but in a routine, in having the discipline to say, hey, for these many hours a day, or, these tasks, if I do them in a habitual process, there is zero chance, essentially, that in the long term, success is not guaranteed, right? The brain may not want to get up every day at the same time. It may feel good in the long term when you know, but, sleeping whenever, waking up whenever, eating whenever. Oh, I'm thirsty, let me go drink a sip of water here, let me have some soda, some junk food, right? It's all short-term hits, and the brain loves it, and the brain is not going to stop us, but that's the irony/duality of the brain. So, all of that to say, we're talking so much about this concept, right? What is going on? Are we overthinking about this concept of overthinking? And the truth is, once you know how to control it, there's no real overthinking. It's how much you want to think is how much you want to think. If that seems like a lot, that's a question for yourself of like, what is the value of the conversation? What is the why behind why I'm thinking like this? When I used to worry about, let's say, oh no, I have change in my pocket, example, right? 15 cents. Loose change, mixed change, whatever. I may lose 5 to 10 cents, let's say, right, if coins slip out of my pocket. That's a true value of maybe change that leaves my pocket. It is money. It is real tangible money. Here's the thing. You can kind of see where this is going, where what is the value of if I lose that change? We're saying it's no more than 15 cents. But how much I may think every single, maybe few minutes, I may check my pockets, jingle jangle, oh, there's that many coins in my pocket. Oh, are there enough coins? Oh, what's going on, right? So what I've learned is use kind of the bigger objective or strategy behind, is my time worth thinking about the thought that I'm thinking about? What is the value? If it had to put, quote unquote, a dollar price, right? Or, does this decision affect another decision, right? Is there a consequence, right? It sounds like common sense framework, and you know it too. But saying it out loud reinforces like, hey, I've been thinking about something a lot. Is it worthy of me thinking about it or not? 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say the chances are no. But most times, 6, 7, 10, times out of 10, that's what I've seen is true. And then what's also good is you're reflecting about like, hey, okay, like this is something I'm happy later on, right? Like I did take some time to think about and, just decide, am I thinking about this the right way? Did I need to socialize this? Should I get some external counsel? Do the answers for this problem help me with answers to other problems, right? So as like kind of out there as all this sounds, if you kind of see the train of thought, it's logical, where you literally have no reason to overthink. You can stop it so you can concentrate with your precious time, the same 24 hours we all have, on the decisions that get you forward and on to the next step, right? Because we focus so much on the end goal. And yeah, the journey is, it's all that matters, it's the fun and all the things, it's great. But the biggest thing that I've learned is that after you have so much thinking, quote unquote, overthinking going into your goal, now you hit your goal. What's next? What was the game plan? What was ever the plan for after the goal, right? If you face this dilemma, you know what I'm talking about. So it's a gentle reminder to say, hey, what is the next thing? And the next thing. And the next thing, if you can think about it, right? Versus being stuck in, hey, I just hit this goal. Now there's this lull of X amount of time, and it's just like you're kind of not figuring things out. Maybe you do have a secondary goal. Maybe you're going with the flow. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm prepared. I know what's up, so I can figure out this next step, and it's all can be true. But in the end, what gives you fulfillment? Is it consuming, right? Is it spending time that you have in chilling, doing what you want? Or is it creating where, hey, maybe you have all the resources in the world, right? But you're choosing with your time to use said time on maybe building something, creating something, researching about something, innovation about something, right? So it's all in your hands. So overthinking is nonsense. It feels like it's unstoppable until you realize it was always you, the internal you, that's basically thinking about the fact that you're thinking about the fact that you get it. So if you came this far, there's overthinking for a good reason, there's overthinking for nonsense reasons. And this video is sponsored by me. I'm also an investor, just outside of everything that we talk, here on the channel. I'm more about the mindset and psychology of how to get things done. I have a project basically. It's a 250 room hotel. Construction has already started, and we're raising funds actively. 50% basically, where we own the land, we're doing the development, and in the end, you basically are literally buying land that is underneath basically the property of the hotel. So you're basically buying land that will be developed, that is a commercial property, and you basically are owning not just the land, right, the property, but cash flows, just like a real business, because you're literally a part of the project from the get-go. What's even better is that banks, instead of me basically paying them, right, and I'm paying interest, it's like crowdfunding. You're basically buying your property in advance before rates actually go up. Not the rates we charge, I'm talking about market rate. So there's actual appreciation. And the rates, instead of the banks, it's like I'm paying us back that difference. So it's a win-win situation even before construction is complete. So all of that to say, if you're interested, there's a link in the description below. Happy to talk with us one-on-one and give us all the information that we want. Investments are around $15,000 to $3 million. So just keep that in mind. But no accredited investor status needed or otherwise. With that, hopefully we talk soon. And with that, like, share, subscribe, all the things. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace for now, guys. It's a good walk.